Welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Love. I know it's been an extremely long time, but I'm finally back, you guys. And guess what we're making today? We're making salmon, but it's going to be a two-part episode. So this one will be about salmon, and the next one I'm going to the reason I'm making the salmon is to make a sandwich. So let's get into it. First things first, we're going to, that was my garlic. But it's okay. It's still in the clove. So what we're gonna do is take our garlic out of the clove, out of the skin that it's in, just like so. And sometimes what I'll do, just push it down like that, and it breaks the skin. So, because it can be sticky. And you're gonna need, what else you're gonna need? For the actual salmon itself, you're gonna need some seasoning. And I developed these seasonings from trial and error, but originally I tried to make the New Orleans salmon from Red Lobster, which is like my favorite dish to get there. And it came out pretty good. And so when I looked it up online, it said use like white pepper, black pepper, which I forgot to pull that out real quick. But then I just started mixing my own way, my own thing up. So that's how I developed the seasonings I'm about to use right now. But first we're gonna cut our garlic. I have now usually when I make this, I'll cook the whole salmon fillet, the really big piece. I went to a grocery store the other day and they had it on sale for $5.99 a pound. So, in Monique fashion, I bought 2 of them. So, what I like to do is cook it and then freeze it so I have enough left over for later. And so I'm going to thinly slice this. You can mince it if you want, or you can use minced garlic if you want. Lately, I've just been liking the taste of the whole garlic, like just cutting it up like this and not using minced garlic. Sometimes I will cut it up smaller. It just depends on how I'm feeling. Really doesn't matter either way. Whatever your preference is. The reason I kind of like it larger is because I like to eat a little bit of it, like when I'm eating my salmon. And another thing you can use this for, if you want to use, and I have done this, if you want to use fresh salmon for salmon croquettes, you can do that as well. This should be enough. Sometimes what I'll do is like slice it thinner. It's up to you. No preference. I like quite a bit of garlic. I like things to be very garlicky. If you don't like it, don't do it, or just, if you could tolerate it, just use a little bit. So next thing I'm going to do is turn my skillet on. I'm going to put it on medium high right now. And this is the pan I'm using. This thing has come in handy. It actually fits the whole fillet. I just cut it in half and then put it in there. And then I use unsalted butter because I found that using salted butter, sometimes it's a little too salty and it's just too much. I'm using about a half a stick. So I have taken it and cut it in half, as you guys can see. And we're gonna season it. I'm gonna pull this to the side. We're gonna let the butter warm up. And then we're gonna put our garlic in there. You do need to keep an eye on it to make sure that it does not start to brown too much. So that's why we want to put it on medium high. Do not put it on high. And eventually I'm going to bring it down. I'm going to try to do this as fast as possible because I want some time constraints. So yes. So of course first Tony's Chatri's, and I season it well. And actually I'm going to season both sides, even the side with the skin on, because I like to eat that side. Now, some people might not, but that's your business. In the words of our dear Tabitha Brown, that's your business. But I like it. To me, it tastes really good. A little bit of black pepper, and then I like to use this. So use some of that. This is just a fish season I got from my local grocery store. You don't have to use it. And then last time I made it, I just used a little bit of oregano and it tasted good. So that's something new I hadn't done before, but the flavor was really great. And so I'm gonna put some Spanish sweet paprika on here, smoked paprika. And sometimes I tend to be a little heavy-handed on that because it tastes so good. And I am going to, it's starting to warm up. I have to be careful with this pot. I always forget that the sides are metal, and I've actually burned myself a few times, which was not pleasant at all. But how have you guys been? It's been forever. I know last time I came to you all, I said I had some other episodes. Guess what? Those episodes have been recorded on my phone, I think since May. And they've been there, and I haven't edited them yet. And I actually was supposed to edit this past holiday weekend, Thanksgiving weekend, and I was just like, you know what? Let me record something new, post that, and then I'll edit those and post them. And they just need minor edits. Other than that, yeah, it's been a minute. You know, honestly, I was like, so much has happened. I think the last episode I recorded was like right before George Floyd passed. And honestly, you guys, it like really rocked me. Like, you know, it's been like time after time of us as Black people seeing, you know, stuff happen to other Black people. At that time, it was just like, I just couldn't. And then we were at the house still in quarantine, and, you know, all that was going on. And I think I was just like, I just can't. And then I was trying to like come back and like I was trying to think of a way to like talk about it and bring it up, but just not be overly emotional. But it was just like, honestly, it was a lot for me at that time. And I just couldn't. And then, you know, life happened, you know, thankfully, you know, everybody in my family, you know, is good. By the grace of God, no one has contracted COVID. In my immediate family, I had some outer family members at that time who had, but they, you know, thankfully, by the grace of God, they recovered. They were good. You know, so I just thank God for that. But it's been an interesting year thus far. I can say, though, it has been still a phenomenal year. By the grace of God, it has been. And I'm truly grateful for that. I know some people, it's been the worst year of their life. And oh, God bless me. That season. You know, I'm going to turn this down some because it's starting to get a little brown in some areas. And at this point, I usually turn it down some more and add some more butter at this point. Okay. Oh, God bless me. Sneeze again. I don't know what it is about this Tony's. I think the last time I was sneezing too. And it could be the pepper as well. So I'm going to add half the other half. Because basically, like, we're kind of doing a sauce, right? If you don't know. That's what we're kind of doing. We're kind of making a sauce, a butter sauce for it to cook in. So, and I do have some, I'm going to use a little bit of this, not at this current moment, but I have some, I don't even see it. Oh, here it is. It is, I usually wait after I taste and see if I need some of this. Usually I have not needed it at all. So that is good. So what we're going to do is the rest of this butter is melting. We're just going to go ahead and put this in, and we're going to season the backside as well. Like I said, I like to eat this can. So just going to lay that down in there. Actually, I'm going to lay this here. But yes, you guys. So it's just been a lot dealing with, you know, that. I had anybody who looked at my Instagram, one of the last posts I made, I was talking about my aunt who passed. And that was, it's crazy how God will keep you. Like, it was devastating to me because she was pretty much like one of my best friends. And it was like so much, so much other stuff was happening like right after that I couldn't even, unfortunately, like focus on it. It was like God just had me in a place like that I did, like I processed, but I wasn't, it didn't devastate me like I thought that it would have. And that was just God keeping me. I'm gonna turn this up a little bit, kind of like medium. And what I've been doing, because what I did at first is I would cook it uncovered. And it seemed like it was taking a really long time. So this is the top I use. And I've talked to you guys about this pan before. It is from, oh, it's still wet. It is from TJ Maxx, and it is a master class. I think I showed you guys before, but they have like the pots, the pans, the small skillets. It's really great. But yeah, it God really kept me to a point that like I wasn't completely devastated. And it's something, even though like of course I still miss her, like that deep sorrow that I was feeling at the beginning, like God just removed it, and it was just like I just felt such great peace. And I know that was nothing but God, because had he not, you know, I don't know. Just being honest, I don't know. But other than that, life has been amazing. You know, I really cannot complain. I could because I'm not saying like things have been like, like nothing's happened to me and I'm just great, but really God has helped me to change my perspective. My dad has gone through some health issues, and it was something like at the beginning of it, I realized that, well, I didn't realize at the beginning, I realized it till after. Not that, you know, everything's just perfect now, but it was like I went through some things, and even dealing with that, and God was revealing to me like, listen, you know, you aren't dealing with this the right way. And even so much that I felt the manifestation of the stress in my body. And I really had to, I'm gonna tell it. So I was taking on everything myself and not trusting God. And so it had gotten to a point that I literally like felt a lump in my throat every time I would swallow. Now we're gonna let this, pause for a second. We're gonna let this cook on this side. I like to cook it until it is probably about halfway done on one side. So of course it's all pink, and it's gonna start to turn a lighter pink. And then that's when I flip it over and let it finish cooking. But I have to be mindful. Actually, I'm gonna put a little bit more smoked paprika in here on the side so we can get in our little sauce, our little butter sauce we're making. And I'm just putting this on the side in the butter, not actually on the salmon. And I'm gonna take a little bit, I'm gonna put it over there as well. Like I said, it's like a butter sauce. So I'm letting that cook some more, and I'm gonna flip it probably in another 3 minutes or so. So, yeah. So anyway, it was to the point where I was feeling the physical manifestations of stress in my body. When I would swallow, I would feel like a lump on this side. And I didn't tell anybody. I didn't even pray out loud about it. I was just like, God, I don't know what this is, but I need you to like get rid of it. I need you to heal me. And God was like, but are you gonna trust me? And so I was just like, but God, I do trust you. And God was like, no, you're not trusting me. You're taking everything on yourself. And so I had went to worship gathering, and literally like every single word that came forth, it was God speaking to me. And I don't know if anybody else felt it was for them or not, but God was talking to me. And it was to the point like I could not even worship, like, and sing. It was just like, I was just sitting there crying. I was just like, wow, God. And God was like, are you, like, you keep trying to do things yourself out of your own strength, and that's not, you know, where I've called for you to be. That's not what I've called for you to do. I've called for you to trust me in this. I've called for you to let it go and give it to me. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, Jesus. You know, like, I was just full, like, crying. And I realized that I had been in a place of not only not trusting God and trying to do things out of my own will, but that I had become, how do I want to say it? I had become so dependent on other people and not God. And then I also had become to a point that everything like got to me. Everything was an issue. Like, oh my goodness, this, and oh my goodness, that, and oh, like I was not at the place anymore of like, oh, God's gonna take care of it. Oh, you know, I'm not even gonna worry about that. My perspective was so not where it should be. And it was just like everything was horrible. Everything was bad. And oh my gosh, this, and oh my gosh, that. Actually, we're gonna go ahead and flip it. You know, and everything was just like, you know, and God's like, I've not ever called for you to be that way. You know, you're supposed to trust me in it all. This is the tricky part. To flip this without, I like everything to be intact. So we're gonna see how it works. There we go. Alright. So it's not a perfect flip, but it's okay. I'm going to bring it closer so I can show you guys what it looks like thus far. So this is where we're at so far. And what I'm going to do is actually put the rest of that butter in there and put it on top because the inside is not done at all. So, but that's another reason why I'm going to put the top on and let it cook. And somebody's probably like, that's a lot of butter. That's my business. And I don't eat it like this all the time. I mean, like, I don't eat the butter on it, so. It's just to give it flavor. But even if I did, that's my business, not yours. I got that from Tabitha Brown, even though she don't eat meat, but you know, whatever. But anyway, so I was just in a bad place of like not really trusting God and giving him, you know, everything that was going on with me. And just panicky and like, oh my goodness, I don't know what to do. Oh my gosh, this and oh my gosh, that. And and just depend on people. And then it's crazy because like God does this to me. When I become so dependent on others, it gets to the point that he doesn't allow them to answer the phone. And I'll call like, hey, oh, I gotta go, I'm gonna call you back. Or I'll call and nobody answers. And God's like, are you gonna talk to me now? Or are you gonna talk to me later? You gonna talk to me now? Or you gonna talk to me? And I'm just like, ah. And so, you know, I realized that I had complained my way through like weeks, probably like a month or so of time. And it's just like, wow. And I look back and what I was going through wasn't that bad as it could have been. And not that it wasn't real, but I see now that God wanted to help change my perspective and help me see that, you know, I need to be dependent on him and not myself and not trying to figure it out. But to sum it up, the Lord did heal me. There's no more in my throat. I let the stuff go and allowed him to take over. When I tell you God took over and blessed my whole life, my dad is doing a lot better. Thank you, Jesus. He's still on the road to recovery, but and it wasn't COVID or anything like that. I won't tell his personal business out here, but I just thank God that, you know, I even thank God that it happened because, you know, his life has changed in some ways. My life has changed. God has really, you know, done a lot, and I'm so appreciative. You know, a lot of times people are like, oh, it's a terrible situation, but what did you learn from it? You know, everything that we go through is for us to learn something from it. And if you are learning something from it, then you didn't pass the test, and you're probably going to have to repeat it in some shape, form, fashion, or another. But I just encourage us all to not complain through situations because it's so easy. I can't believe it's happening. And this is terrible. And I mean, not every person, but people I talked to who were listening, I was like, listen, I am upset about A, B, C, X, Y, Z. This is not okay. And it was just like everything had become something. And God was trying to teach me like, no. Get back to trusting me. Get back to talking to me about whatever is going on. Get back to listening to my voice about whatever is going on. And so I had to learn those things, and it was tough. But I'm grateful that I learned, and prayerfully, I don't have to repeat that test again. I believe I passed, but we'll see. You know, you never know. It could be a pop quiz one day. But it is also a gradual thing for me. Because I'm learning to come out of those habits that I had developed It's a process. And so, but I'm grateful that my mind is quicker now to be like, you know what, is this that serious? And thankfully I have people around me who, you know, were eventually able to tell me the truth about myself, because I will say and be very honest, I'm not always the easiest person to talk to when it is about me. Because I'm like, excuse me, what? Did you tell me that? Because I don't receive that. But I'm learning and I'm progressing in a way that, you know, those who are near and dear to me, it is easier for them to tell me things about myself that I may not want to hear, but that I can be in a place to receive. So I just encourage you guys to, you know, no matter what's going on, pray and ask God to help you see the situation how He wants you to see it. God, what is that you want me to learn? How is it that you want me to grow in this? You know, help me to see how you want me to see, because a lot of times our vision is like down here, like, oh, this is terrible, this is so horrible, blah blah blah, and God's like, nope, I need you to look up here and look at all the other things I'm doing and look how I'm transforming this situation. And it may feel like it's the worst thing in the world, but no, it is for your good in some type of way. So I just want to encourage you guys with that. Like I said, this is part 1 of basically just the salmon, and then, because it's almost done, it doesn't take a whole lot of time. And I don't like to overcook it. I usually will turn it off and let it kind of cook in the pan, and because I don't want it to overcook. So this is pretty much sums this part up, and then afterwards we're going to be making the sandwich. I'm going to come back, and actually it's going to be a 3-part, and after I make the sandwich I'm going to do a mukbang, and you guys can see, you know, I'll talk about it, let you guys know how it tastes. I've made it recently. It was so good, you guys, so good. And I got a lot of compliments from the family. They were like, yes. So this is where we are now. At this point, I need to start like timing it so I can give you guys like exact time. I will tell you, be mindful, because you do not want it to overcook. I don't like tough salmon. I'm sure you guys don't. It probably has like another, maybe like 15 minutes, 20 max. 20 max. Like I said, I like mine to be tender. I don't like it to be, you know, cooked all the way. I'm going to show you guys this real quick. I didn't even know that was okay. Anyway, I bought these little bowls, you guys. They match my set, but you'll see. So this is, I pulled some of it off. This is from the side, because of course the thinner pieces are gonna cook first. So there we are. Yes. But yeah, I'm gonna put this on here. Actually, I'm gonna turn it back on and leave it on probably another, like I said, 15 minutes, and then I'll turn it off and it finish cooking. But depends on your pot or pan, whatever you're cooking in as well. You do want to be mindful of that. Some of them may cook a little faster, and I have that on probably like medium right now. And then that concludes this episode of Cooking with Love. I think what I'm gonna do is actually just upload this. My hair looks crazy right now. Yeah, that's it. And then I'll be doing part 2 in a little while, and then I'll upload. I might upload them all tonight. We'll see, because it's been a minute. It's been a long time. So I think you guys deserve that, you know. But I pray you all are doing well. I'm going to say a quick prayer. Father God, I just thank you, Lord, for every person watching this. I pray, Lord God, that you would use whatever I said, Lord God, however you want. Lord God, I pray that what things I said touch someone's heart, that it resonates with them, Lord God. And I pray, Lord God, that you bless every person watching this, Lord God, and help us all to grow in you and help us see situations as you want us to see them, and not how we think they should be, how we feel they should be. Lord, I pray that you get all the glory and honor out of everything here and everything in our lives. Help us to put you first and keep you first. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. You guys stay blessed. I will see you, same outfit on, in the next episode. Love you guys. Bye.